Malky, before we go on to talk about the Celtic game at the weekend, a quick run over the game against Hamilton. It looked as though it was a bit of a Brogan Hay show from the performance she put on. They managed to keep her feet in the ground after that.
I think it was a great performance by all the players. I think it was a very professional approach we had to the game, and I think what was evident was that we quickly found a solution to play around their block, and obviously Brogan was instrumental in doing that, you know.
In terms of Hamilton, obviously last time you played them, I think it was 7-0 you won. I was actually fairly impressed. Them looked like quite a young team, but they didn't seem to give up. They seemed to stick to their game plan, and they certainly made you up for your dinner.
Yeah, definitely. I think every team as the games go on, they're getting better and more afraid with playing with us, as well as them improving as well, you know. But yeah, they were certainly well organised. They were hard to break down, and they gave us some real problems on the night. Yeah, I agree with you.
We could always talk about the scorers in such a match, but perhaps a slightly unsung hero I thought was Nikki Docherty. She just seems to be, I wouldn't say a class above the other players, but the way she's playing just now, every pass seems to be pretty decisive from her.
Yeah, I think she's got great experience, you know, in her years in the game. You know, I think she's played. I think her dad's been following her since she's probably been about 3 years of age, I think, you know. So she's played a lot of football internationally. So she's played a lot of international games. She's played a lot of domestic games as well. But what a true professional she is. We're asking her to play as a fullback on the opposite side. You know, a bit like Dennis Irwin used to do at Man United, you know, playing with your opposite foot, you know. Yeah, but she's really she understands how to play fullback on both sides, you know. So it's an absolute pleasure her being in the squad.
And lastly, from the game, Kirsty, Howitt scored in her first game for 9 months. She came on for last 30 minutes. Has there been any reaction to her in terms of her kind of chronic injury to that, or has she been okay?
I think she's got a strain in her face with no stopping smiling, Mark, to be honest with you. I think she's absolutely delighted to be back. And what an energy and an enthusiasm she brings. She brought that night as well. But daily in training she does. She's always bubbly. She's always, you know how Kirsty Howitt's going to come in the morning, you know. But again, it goes back to that group dynamic that we have, that every one of those girls, once we pick the team, they all rally around and support each other. And I think she commented on that in her interview after the game, you know. So the girls are definitely making it easy for each other to play, you know, by just giving them that support and that confidence. But yeah, I'm really pleased that Kirsty, obviously we were limited with her game time. It's planned. She got 30 minutes, and I think, to be honest with you, her first kind of 5-10 minutes of that game, she was chasing everything, you know, absolutely everything. And then she settled down and played the position, found her feet, and then ultimately she got her goal, which is what she's about, you know. She's definitely, if there's a half chance to be had in the box, she will definitely put it in the back of the net.
That's good to hear. On Sunday, it's a 1 o'clock kick-off at Celtic's home park up at Airdrie. Hope you get a crowd for that. In terms of your injuries and suspensions, do you have a full squad to choose from?
Yeah, I think we're just waiting on the obvious one that would be Chelsea Cornet. We're still waiting on a report coming back for Chelsea to see how she is. Obviously, it's the 1 match suspension has been fulfilled with the Hamilton game there, so Jenna becomes available also. And out with that, we're pretty much good to go, barring we're long-term ones, and Kirsten Riley, who will be a wee bit longer in coming back, which is a shame, you know. But yeah, apart from that, we've got a clean bill of health, and we're ready for the game.
In terms of the scale of the game, we talked last year that even though the COVID restrictions meant that Celtic Park was empty, but the Quite a few of the girls who played in that game said it was a real buzz. Even internationally said it was a buzz to be in a full scale, to be in such a large stadium. In terms of, you've got very experienced girls who've played in front of big crowds, but the actual fixture itself, has it got to the stage where they know, this is a different game from every other game?
Yeah, I think if you're born on the West Coast, you know that from the minute you start watching football. It's a derby game. It's always going to be a derby, the derby, if you like. And I think it's really important that you're always mindful of it's still another game. It's still an 11v11, but there is that element of it that gives it the spice. It gives it I suppose it gives it, that's the attraction to want to watch that game, So yeah, but I think our girls, the team as a whole, really look forward to the big occasions, whether it's a big stadium, whether it's a Celtic. But I think the enjoyment factor that's coming into us planning and preparing for each game, and the girls getting the reward of the 3 points, it means everything to them,
In terms of the league, obviously your results and Celtic's results, and indeed Glasgow City's kind of giving you not too big a cushion, but it's giving you a little bit of a cushion. And the game you played against Hamilton midweek, are we now starting to see exactly how you want the team to play? That possession, the pass, the movement. If you get stopped down one wing, you recycle it, you come back. Are you fairly happy with the team going into this game?
I think we're always, we have a style of play, and within that style of play, we can adapt and adjust. So although that we'll set out 4-3-3, there's permutations in that shape that we can go and use to change the shape of it during the game. But it just depends on the moment, and it depends on the opposition and the style and how they're playing against us. But what's pleasing for me is that the way that we train allows the girls to make decisions themselves on the pitch, and confident decisions to go ahead and do that in the moment to affect the game. And they're becoming I can see a real improvement in their decision making, not just in possession but out of possession when we have to either regain the ball back or we have to sit off. I can see the communication there. I can see even just by reacting to their fellow player and about them, I can see that they're actually really understanding about defending space or trying to overload a situation. So it's really pleasing to see them taking that ownership. And credit has got to go to the staff. Craig McPherson, Michael, our analyst, Kevin, our goalie coach Nicola, the guys that are round about, the players in a technical sense, that are not just delivering training sessions but actually putting detail to why we're doing things. So a lot of credit's got to go to those guys, and obviously that's out with your Emma Trainers and Faye Bennett's, who are absolutely on it, keeping the girls in a top physical condition to be able to play in the style and the manner that we want them to play in.
Okay, Malky, well, thanks very much for that update, and look forward and wish you all the best on Sunday.